Hi.
Hey everybody, I'm Ed.
And I'm Barb, and we're the Streeters. Welcome to the ARTyRV channel, where we teach, share, and talk all about stained glass.
Stained glass.
And tonight at the Q&A, we'll be chatting about tools, techniques, and answering all your questions.
About stained glass.
About stained glass.
So if you have any questions or saved any up this week or just had something you jotted down in your notes on your phone, go ahead and ask, put it down in the comment box there, and just stick a Q right there in front of it to let Barbara know that it is a question. We're glad everybody could join us tonight. Welcome back, those of you that are back for the Q&A.
Yes, we hope everyone is well this week and staying safe, and everyone is feeling okay.
We hope so, and we're hoping that everybody in, of course, down in the southern Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama, we're hoping and praying for you guys. It's a terrible thing y'all just had to go through, and your days are going to get much better, I promise you.
Okay, so if you have any questions, just hi from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Hi, how you doing? Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Yeah, hi Joyce.
Hi Joyce.
Got that weather heading north into you. We're glad you could join us tonight. Yeah, the rain is coming up to you. I think it's in the Tennessee Valley right now, but be prepared. And glad you could join us tonight. We had a question that I was looking at online and in the questions from last week, and somebody wanted to know, when did stained glass get started? Well, you know, that's really a good question. And I had to look it up just to make sure, you know, because I've got pictures of windows from the 13th century. Mm-hmm. And come to find out that during the first century AD, the Romans were the first ones to use stained glass, and only the richest of them could afford it within their homes or their sanctuaries. So from what I understand, they would, you know, of course, roll the glass out, and they would put it into what they called armatures at the time, which were window frames. And they added oxides to make their colors. And, you know, so they rolled out these flat sheets and they put them inside of armatures to make glass windows out of them.
So they stained them with glass paint and then fired them and then put them
and then they added metals to the batch itself, maybe to the clear glass, or they painted on it.
They painted on it in the 11th, yeah.
Which would have been, you know, like in the glass studio when we cover our clear glass with colored glass, now we're making flashed glass because the color's only on one side.
Okay.
But
nice.
Hey, the nearest I could find out is 100 AD is when everything got started. And prior to that, the Egyptians were doing glass beads and glass necklace, you know, glass perfume bottles and things like that. So anyway, I hope that answers your question. And, you know, I'm always intrigued to see stained glass, and the photographs that I have from the 13th century, I actually took those in the Museum of Art in Philadelphia. So.
Okay. Well, thank you, Ed. That was interesting.
Just a little bit of tidbit of information from me today.
Okay. I got a hard question for you.
Uh-oh.
When using lead between hexagon shapes, what's the best way to cut angles so that they can achieve a good finish? So I guess they're talking about
mitering.
Mitering.
The best way to do it is to use the pliers that we have, the lead nippers that we have for sale on our website. And you'll find that you can do any kind of a miter with these lead nippers. And you'll also find out, if you take your time and have the right tools, making that, let me think, I believe it's 22.5 degrees. Making that 22.5 degree miter won't really be anything with these lead nippers that I have.
Okay. And I was Wednesday. Okay. We got a new thing coming up. Every Wednesday, will be the night the new videos come out. So in the next video, I've almost got it finished. Ed is going to be showing just that mitering, because we're going to update you on the live oak project.
Right. So we'll be,
and
we've
so
got
he
some film.
miters a
Yeah.
lot of those. Yes.
Well, all of that, a lot of that,
Yeah.
most of that has to be mitered in some way, shape, or form in order to get it nice and snug, or as close as we possibly can to the piece of lead that is opposite of it. So yeah.
Yeah. So every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock, and we'll promote it some more. We've just
we just started. It's a new thing.
It's a new thing,
And,
so that you can count on this for Monday night, and then Wednesday night at 8 o'clock, either a new video will come out, or we'll do a live straight from the studio,
right.
or we'll give you an update from the studio or news or something. But 8 o'clock Wednesday night.
Yeah. So it's going to be basically what's happening in our glass studios.
Yeah. Yes,
each week on Wednesday, we'll have a video out, and you can take a sneak peek at it. It'll be up there for your enjoyment, but you'll catch up on what we're doing, so that we can tell you some things that's going on in the studio during the live Q&A. But this Q&A, everybody, this Q&A is for you, to help you and to answer your questions and to help you move forward within your project or your hobby.
Okay, so now another question. Is it better to turn your glass grinder on and off between pieces, or let it run continuously?
Well, that really depends on your nerves. The humming noise doesn't bother me. Eventually, it's kind of like a train that comes every day. You get used to it. But a lot of times, depending on the grinder you have, you may be able to put the switch in the middle and push down on the surface, and it'll start automatically. I'm not sure which grinder you have, but a couple of our grinders in the stained glass room, you put the switch in the middle, and then when you lay your glass in your hand on the surface, the grinder starts up.
Spin Master?
Spin Master, maybe.
Something like that.
I didn't even know it had inland has
grinder.
it. Yeah.
Yes. And you touch it and it turns on. You go off, it turns off.
It turns
so
off. So,
that solves your problem. Another tool.
Letting it run doesn't hurt it. That motor is designed. We've got grinders in the glass studio that are 20 years old. That motor is designed to run. So, if you don't mind the little humming noise or the wah, 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 you will find out if you leave it running all the time, you're going to continuously have to add water, because it's going to, it's just going to keep throwing it out. But if you turn it off and on, it seems like 1 or 2 seconds for every piece of glass times 500 be 1,000 seconds, which would be a couple hours flipping and switches on your grinder. So think about it that way, I guess.
Yeah. Just grind it and get it over with.
Yeah, or grind it all at one time and be done with it.
Yeah, be done with it. Okay, we have a lot of questions tonight.
Great.
And just moving forward, I hope that answered your question there. Do you use stained glass software applications like GlassEye?
No, we don't. No. It's probably something that maybe we should use.
I had another question about that. Can we recommend a good software program to design stained glass panels? And you know what we don't know about? If any of you guys know about these programs, please talk to each other in the comments, because we don't.
We're old school.
We would like to learn some of that type of thing. And so if you have an idea of what is the best program, let us know, and we'll share it with our.
Yeah, because normally, we just sit down with a box of sharpened pencils and a 48-inch roll, 1,000 feet long of paper, and
we draw it small first.
We draw it small, and then we make it bigger.
Make it big.
And we do all that by hand still. We're still old school. I have a lot of fun drawing and designing windows. So, and maybe those programs might be right, but I don't have to worry about printing my window out once I draw it. It's drawn. I can put it on the wall and it's ready for approval.
Okay. So, yes. So, I've heard of glass eye. I have looked at a few. I haven't really had the time to investigate all of them. So,
thanks, Amber. I'm glad you like your nippers up in South Dakota. Yeah, those lead nippers are good. They are very nice.
Where can Joyce wants to know, where can she find glue chip glass in different colors? All she can find is clear.
Okay. Are you ready for this? Joyce, I'm sure you're probably pretty handy in the glass studio. So this is what you need to do. You can make your own glue chip and you can make it any color you want. And it's really simple. It's a process, but
should we share that in a video?
Maybe, well,
you tell them, and then if you're interested, we'll do it.
Yeah. So this is, I mean, we can explain it to you, but it's in is it in the glass book? It's in the glass book. But what you need is you need animal hide glue. Okay, animal hide glue. It's what they use for gluing nice furniture together, beds, things like that. This glue has to be cooked. Okay. So you take maybe a cup of glue for.
Is it toxic?
No, it's not toxic.
I don't know.
Just don't drink it. But
do it outside.
Let's just say if you take a 12 by 12 or a 16 by 16 piece of glass and you lay it on a table, and then you put a little wooden frame around all four edges. And then you take a little bead of clear silicone and you run that around there. So now what you're doing is you've made a dam and you've sealed the dam to a sandblasted piece of colored glass. Now I'll repeat that to you. A sandblasted piece of colored glass is now on that wood sealed with your silicone, sandblasted side up. So now you got to cook the glue according to the directions. You allow the glue to cool just a little bit, just below 300 degrees, because you don't want to break the glass. And then you pour the glue on the glass so that it's only 1/8 of an inch or thinner preferably, and nice and level. Allow the glue to dry till it's tacky to your finger, sticky. The very 24 hours after that, take your glass and put it outside. Once the sun gets on your glue, guess what you're doing? You're glue chipping. So now animal hide, stand back. The animal hide glue, the sun gets on it, it shrinks the glue and it pulls the surface of the glass up and leaves you your pattern, which is basically frost on your windshield. It sounds like it's easy. It really is easy. It's a little time consuming, but you want to set your work away from everybody else, sandblast any kind of glass and glue chip it, and you're on. Boom. Not everybody can do it because not everybody has the patience.
And it's good for restoration.
It's great for restorations because, glue chip glass at the turn of the last century, glue chip glass was used in all kinds of signage. I mean, they were chipping like crazy.
Now, we could glue chip and then stain it with paints and stuff like that. So, yeah, you could do like a Coca-Cola.
But if you want colored glue chip, most of the manufacturers aren't making it because nobody's buying it. Make it yourself, have some fun, and create things that people will say, well, where'd you get that at? Or how'd you do that? And if you want to know about glue chipping, we can do a video. Right now, it's a little bit hot in South Carolina. A little bit hot in South Carolina because we don't want the glass. We wouldn't want the glass to break. But anyway, that's your answer. Glue chip your own glass, and it's an awful lot of fun.
Okay. Darren wants to paint beveled glass. Can they paint on both sides? Yeah.
Yeah, you can. What you have to really worry about is just the temperature differences. in the glasses.
Right. So the one
put your-
side needs to be, the last side that you do will be a lower fire.
Lower fire.
Than the first side that
Right.
you
And
did. So
don't
you have to
worry
plan
about
it.
messing with the bevel, because you're not gonna get the paints hot enough to melt plate glass or float glass, because it melts at a much higher temperature than art glass does. So Joey, hey buddy, good to see you. I hope you're well this week.
And Magali's here.
Hey,
and
Magali.
Joyce. And
Thanks for
everybody's
tuning
here.
in.
Everybody's here. Video on glue chipping would be great. Yeah, we'll do that. That's
Okay.
I
It's a
think that will be
process, but we can do it.
Fun video. Yeah.
Gosh, we used to glue chip.
That's when glue chip
Our
glass
bevels.
was more expensive. So
Well,
we
it was.
thought
Glue chip was really expensive,
Oh,
and now,
yeah. We used to glue chip our bevels.
and we used to make signage and everything. Yeah.
Ooh.
We used to make restaurant signs by glue chipping, and the best thing to use when you're making signs is matting or sandblast matting, or what I call headstone matting, from the guy that makes tombstones.
Man, yeah.
Yeah,
Tombstone guy.
the tombstone guy.
Yeah.
Get the matting, and you cut it out, and the matting will stay on there, and then you pour the glue, and everywhere that the matting's not will glue chip, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it's really pretty. And then put a mirror behind it. And whoa.
Oh
you
yeah,
got
once you
something.
put mirror behind it, you look, check it out. You'll notice that a lot of the signage at the turn of the last century was made with glue chip. So check it out.
Okay. Joey wants to know, what do we use for jump rings? Is solid copper wire okay? 14 or 12 gauge? Depends on what you're hanging.
Yeah, I think it depends on the weight that you're hanging, because the copper wire does stretch. Eventually it does stretch. You can use steel jump rings. You can
Copper
use steel.
stretches, right?
Yeah, copper
Yeah.
stretches won't pull apart, but you can use steel jump rings. What you have to do is put them on your piece and solder on both sides of them so that they're attached to the surface. I don't use copper jump rings. I don't do a lot of jump ringing, and
We don't use them that much. Yeah.
huh?
I said we don't use them that much. Hi
No.
from Australia.
Hey,
Hello.
are you?
Hey.
Let's see. Should be having coffee already this morning.
Is it like 11 something?
Is it 11, almost time to grab a
No.
bite to eat?
Is it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
16
Okay.
or 17 hours. Is that right? Or am I
You're
in the
thinking
wrong
of New
time zone?
Zealand?
I might be thinking of New Zealand. I'm sorry.
Welcome everyone.
But yeah, so Joey, jump rings are really tough. For small things less than a pound, yeah, use copper jump rings, a number 10 or number 12 wire. Actually, a number 10, yeah, probably a number 10 wire would be better. Just because you can wrap that around something that's about a 1/2 inch or 3/8 of an inch in diameter, a little larger than the diameter of a pencil, and you can put that and solder it together. I wouldn't recommend anything more than 1 or 2 pounds, though. After that, you really need to use chain to hang your work. And
They're attaching to zinc. A lot of them are attaching to zinc. They're not using wood.
okay.
So we're old school. We use wood. Sorry about that, guys. But we have used zinc. When things come in,
Yeah, but I have
do
people
it.
bring me stuff in that's framed in zinc on copper jump wires, and the jump wires are pulled apart.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, I don't take pictures of everything that I repair, but we usually have about 10 to 12 repairs come in a month. So.
Okay, so we should explore that the jump ring zinc
And the glue
things,
chip.
yeah, and do some experimenting. Okay, guys, there's a question here. Do we, Brenda? You had a question about wear and tear. So yeah, tell me what that means. More questions about wear and tear. Is that on your grind? Oh, I see, on your grinder. I think Ed answered that.
Yeah, and as far as like there's a question just popped up. Do we use a grinder lubricant? The best thing to do for your reservoir is to use just like a very small amount of antifreeze
In the water.
in the water in your reservoir, and let that, because the antifreeze will keep the diamonds cool. And it's just basically the same thing they use on these great big beveling machines that have all, 34 spindle diamond wheels. That's what they use. It's basically an antifreeze. It just costs a lot more money, but the same thing, same principle. Lubricate your water, which lubricates your diamonds, which makes them last forever.
And then on the bit, you want to tell them what to use
Sure.
on your bit?
Well, you know what so your grinder bit is held on by a set screw, and I believe everybody knows that because everybody's changed it. But if you think about it, the diamonds on your grinder are 3/4 of an inch tall. Your glass is 1/8 of an inch. So you have 6 different areas that you can wear out before you buy a new grinder head for $38. Okay. But that set screw is really a pain in the neck unless you take care of it. So first things first, get a small little bottle of milk of magnesia. I know it
Helps with the binding.
Well, yeah, it helps unbind things. And the main thing that it's going to do for your grinder is you're going to take that Phillips milk of magnesia, put it on that set screw, and in the hole that the set screw goes in, and wind your set screw in and tighten it up and go on back to work. Now, in a month, when all your glass dust gets all tangled up inside where the set screw is, you know what? Put your Allen wrench in there and take it back out, because you used milk of magnesia on it, and that's an anti-seize. It keeps everything moving.
That's a good tip.
It's a good tip.
Okay, now Howard wants to know, can you slump glass within your stained glass window? He wants a 3D effect. So how would you attach that that slumped piece of glass? What's the best way? Just
figure out the best way to attach that piece of glass, because we have slumped sails, the forward sail or the jib sail on sailboats.
Mm-hmm.
For stained glass windows.
Yeah.
And then we applied that to the sailboat that was actually in the window and made that nice little 3D, jib sail in that stained glass window. So the answer to your question is, yes, you can slump glass and put it within your stained glass window.
A lot of times what you have to do, say you want a curve, sometimes you have to cut that piece to make it look like the entire piece is in there. You've got to have that raw edge.
That raw edge. You have to have one edge sticking out of the stained glass window.
Yeah, you're going to have a raw edge to be able to copper foil it to the window.
Yeah. And, we have taken and cut bottles in half and copper foiled the edge of the bottle and put the bottles in a window. Put a flat piece of glass on the back. Now you got a bottle sticking out the front. You can put little flowers.
Or if you can't cut it, you could grind it
flat. Yeah.
But you got to get sorry about that. You got to get a flat. Yeah, copper foil.
9:18 in the morning. Great. You're on your second cup of coffee, maybe your third. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it.
With copper? With copper, what was the question, Howard?
You can, I just saw a small sailboat that we had that has the sail in the front of it that helped us with the idea for the big sailboat that we did with the slump sail.
Then you have to think about the weight of the piece as well.
Yeah. Basically what's going to happen is, if I'm on a sailboat just because I've done that before, but if you when you draw that window and your jib sail or your forward sail is in the window, okay? And you really don't even have to slump it if you install it right. You can make that jib turn inside that window.
Howard's got it. He said thanks.
Got it? Okay. Maybe I'm confusing you, Howard, and I hope not, because the 3D look is awesome, and it will be absolutely gorgeous. You know, we have a church that we did some years ago, Barb, that actually has the waterfall into the baptismal pool coming through the stained glass into the baptismal pool.
Yes.
So the water comes through the stained glass window. And that probably answers a couple of questions. Yes, your stained glass windows can be put outside. And yes, water can be running through them. You can do a lot of things with them. And so just want to let you know that.
Okay, Magali's taken off.
All right.
Bye, Magali.
I hope everything's well.
Joey said he has been taking apart a lampshade that was constructed with lead cane. Can he save the pieces of lead that are about 4 inches long and straight? Can I use these for projects?
Well, you're probably going to find, Joey, that those little pieces of lead are probably oxidized somewhat. So, I mean, there's nothing. It doesn't rot. It doesn't go away. So, yeah, I mean, you know, you can just clean up the edges or just cut the two ends off and use the little pieces. Sure, use them, Joey. Upcycle it. You know, lead's really, unless you got somebody that likes to fish and makes their own sinkers, your lead's pretty much stuck in a box in your studio, because please don't throw it in the trash. Yeah,
so another grinder question from Brenda.
Okay.
What grinder would you recommend? We have two on our website.
Yeah, and
the Whiz and the Whizzling.
Yeah, the Whiz. Oh, sounds like we're going down the yellow brick road, doesn't it?
And the Whiz.
And the Whizzling. The Whizzling was the first grinder we ever bought. It's by Inland. And the Whiz grinder, which is the little bit larger version, and you're only going to buy one grinder. So honestly, you probably want to go ahead and buy the Whiz. And you'll find out, I think that's the one with the 1 inch head in it too.
Yeah. And I think
the 1 inch grinder head.
I think the link to the Whizzling is in the description of this video and some other videos. And if you go there, that'll take you to Inland, and any of those Inland Whiz products.
Any of their grinders
are
any of Inland's products.
Yeah. They're just really nice.
And we're trying to get a hold of them, and maybe we can get them to help sponsor our channel.
And we can give away some of their great products.
Yeah, because and the first thing you do, Brenda, when you get your grinder, whichever one you get, and you take it out of the box, first things first, fill out that warranty card or go online, fill out the warranty, because these guys are the best in the industry with any problems you might have.
Definitely. I did have a question about the glass paint. Someone somehow missed, what is the firing schedule for the glass paints?
Well, your lower fires and your transparent glasses paints are going to fire somewhere between 1,080 and 1,275 thereabouts. And then your tracing blacks and a lot of your opaque colors are mainly just your tracing blacks and your brown. Your colors are all low fires, and your tracing and your blacks, your lines, your bisque browns, and your what are they? I can't think of them. Anyway,
stains. Your
stainers. Your silver stains are all about the same temperature. Okay, so your blacks and your silver stain and your bisque browns are all going to fire between 1,225 and 1,400 degrees. They give you that variant so that if your kiln gets away from you or you take a nap and fall asleep while they're firing, as long as you wake up before it gets to 1,450 degrees, you'll be fine. never want to fire anything that hot anyway, because now the glass is moving and it's a puddle in the bottom of your kiln. Work with the temperatures between 1050 and 1080 and 1175 and 1210. Really, that's all we do with our paints.
Joey wants to know what we do with our scrap lead. You know, fishing weights are the only thing that we know. Maybe some other people have some ideas.
Yeah. Well,
How about you,
I will
Ed?
tell you, years ago, Joey, they used to make little lead castings, and those little lead castings were designed.
Yes. How about that?
Yeah. I'm just going to draw you a little picture, but they were
We were talking
like
about this the other day.
I know. They were like little round. Okay.
Called rosettes.
They're called rosette. Lead rosettes is what they're called. So you just take and make a form, and then you heat the lead up, which melts it. You can melt it in a pan on your stove, but outside. So
don't breathe it.
But your lead rosettes are great little decorative pieces. Some of you may remember.
You used to buy them. I don't know if you
Well,
can
I'm
buy
just
them
going to do
anymore.
this, and some of y'all might remember, and in your town, you may have these. The leaded glass windows with clear glass in them.
They can't. I don't know if they can see that.
The clear glass in them with the diamonds, and each place that those diamonds intersected with each other, guess what? There's a lead rosette. Joey, if you can do something with that, that would be awesome.
Yeah, lead rosettes.
Lead rosettes, a turn of the century deal. 1920s, 1930s, they were real popular.
I forgot all about them.
Yeah, we were talking about them the other day. We were laughing. We were like, because back in the 80s, we used to buy the lead rosettes from Whittemore Durgan. But they don't have to be flowers. You can take anything that's round and make a rosette out of it. Make the pattern, make the form, make the mold for it. Yeah, and the mold, plaster of Paris is good. It'll last quite a few turns because you're only going 450 degrees.
Yeah. So, have fun with that.
Yeah, just do it outside, Joey. It's a lead is really nasty when it's melting.
Yeah, and don't take our word for it. Read about it before you do it, because I have no idea.
Yeah, no, we have friends that, because we're so close to the ocean, they make different styles of fishing weights for trolling and stuff like that. So, when I get a 5-pound or 10-pound box full, I just let them know and they come get it.
Yeah. We don't actually do it. We just give it to them.
I don't do it. I used to make fishing sinkers with my dad a long time ago.
What kind of kiln would you recommend for slumping?
Number 1, a top fire kiln. And I would say, we've had the best luck, and we own Genkin kilns, right? Yeah,
that's a
small Genkin kiln. Their little 18-inch one or a 19-inch one. Yes. It's about $2,200 or something. It's a great little starter kiln. And then we have a couple of annealers that are top fired, and we can program them to do anything that we want. And one of them is 3 foot by 5 foot, and the other one is 2 foot by 5 foot. But the one that's 2 foot by 5 foot is also 24 inches tall and 2 feet deep. So it's pretty big inside.
Yeah. And our little one that we use a lot.
And we have our little one that we just heat up chunks of glass and we make jewelry out of. But
recycle.
And we recycle all of our
blown glass. Yeah. Make jewelry. So is 120 watts enough power for a kiln? Yeah. It depends on the size, though.
120 watts?
120 watts.
Or is that 120 volts? You can use a kiln that plugs into a 110 outlet with no problem.
That's what I thought it meant. Or you get a bigger one. It depends on the size of the kiln, but you
Yeah,
can start small. There's no reason why. You
yeah, some of the larger kilns, the only thing between 110 and 220 is it uses a little more electricity and takes a little bit longer to heat up. Hey, when you're just starting out fusing, you don't want to get in a hurry anyway, because you want to make notes of everything that happens within that atmosphere
Volts,
of
yes.
your new kiln. Yeah.
120 volts.
Yeah, 120 volts is fine.
Me too. I'm electrically challenged.
Barbara still thinks we got to plug the motorhome in to get the lights to work. So.
I don't know. Why do I need to know these things?
That's right. She doesn't. She needs to know how to
Hey.
start it and to put it in drive if she needs to be able to
know how
drive
to
it.
start it. Okay. Don't make fun of me.
No, but 120 volts is actually a good size starter kiln because they probably make 3 or 4 different ones. And again, the only difference is it takes a little longer to heat up, uses just a little bit more electricity. But again, Howard, like I said, just starting out fusing, you're going to want to make notes of everything that atmosphere is doing, how it's changing, how it's changing your glass. Because once you start fusing and working with what we call warm glass in the industry, everything changes, my friend. Everything.
Yeah, you'll be mesmerized.
And just think, you're only
So
going to
buy
like
a kiln.
1,500 degrees.
Yeah, we'll put some kilns on our website.
Yeah,
them
we
to
can
look
put some.
at.
Yeah, the Genkin kilns are, the dilemma that you're going to have though is some of your suppliers are going to have kilns in stock,
Yeah, that's right.
and that's where you're going to need to get them, because right now parts are really hard to find. Circuit boards, it's no different than a pickup truck. So, and if you're looking for a big annealer or a big kiln that's top fired, and please y'all, get a kiln. If you're going to spend the money on a kiln to do slumping and fusing, please get a top fired kiln so that everything heats up evenly, and don't get in a hurry with that initial warm up, because that initial warm up is what's going to break the glass. Once the glass is hot, you can do anything you want with it.
Yeah.
It's that warm up that you got to take your time, 50 degrees an hour. 50 degrees an hour. That's very slow.
Okay. What does glass tinning mean?
Glass tinning.
What does it mean when you tin?
Oh, when I tin my glass. So what you're going to do is after you've cut your glass, ground your glass, and now you foiled it, and you've got your pattern together. First, you're going to tack solder the middle, keep everything from moving. Tinning the glass is fluxing the entire outside of your piece, and then taking solder and running around that entire outside on both sides and the face. Now you're tinning your window.
Okay. That was a good question, because it
is
gets a little bit confusing, because you tin your soldering iron and then you tin your glass. And so beginners get like,
well, yeah,
Am I
and the
understanding
tins are spelled the same, but they're different.
okay, are stained glass windows energy efficient?
And that's a good question. They are definitely waterproof if they're made correctly. But to energy efficient, make a stained glass window energy efficient, you would need to at least put one piece of safety glass on the exterior in front of the stained glass window. You can also incorporate it into insulated glass. I don't recommend it because gravity will push the seal out of the bottom and your window will fog up and you've just wasted a lot of money. I would prefer that, number one, when you install a stained glass window, you never caulk it. And number two, always try and put a piece of protective glass in front of it. Now, the other thing is, if you're going to hang it outside, you don't want anywhere for water to get trapped. So the answer to using something in front or behind the glass outside is no. if you're just going to like hang it in your garden and enjoy it, make it look real pretty, I wouldn't put any kind of protective glass in front of it or behind it. It's already waterproof if it's made correctly, so you don't have to worry about it. And that lead will last much longer than the frame that it's hanging in.
Yeah, so some people do put those stained glass windows and make them what they call energy efficient by making them glazed, double glazed. But what happens is when that window fails, and it will fail, there's no window, none of those windows last forever. It will fail. And when it fails, it will collect that moisture on the stained glass window itself. And then when it starts staining the glass, there's no way you can fix it.
It etches it. It doesn't stain it. Yeah, it stains it, but not in the staining that you think it does.
And then when you go to take the window apart, or you think you can take it apart and change out
it's really messed
the window,
up,
you're going to ruin your stained glass window. So for the benefit of it lasting forever, as most stained glass windows will if they're taken care of,
right,
this only degrades the window from the beginning.
Right.
But, you know.
And then the other thing is finding somebody that wants to handle your stained glass and put it between two pieces of glass and seal it up and give it back to you and not be responsible for it.
And the only reason we know this is we used to
do that.
Actually make energy efficient windows in our studio.
And we used to put stained glass windows in between the panes for people.
And they wanted them. And our experience over the years is that it does not.
They might last 3 years or so, but it's gravity. It's a hermetically sealed unit, which means it's two pieces of glass separated by a piece of dead airspace. And there's a polysulfide butyl that runs around the outside. And eventually the gravity pushes that polysulfide right out the bottom. And now your window's sweating. And within just a few short weeks, it's already started molding and staining.
Okay. Nancy wants to know, does she need to use lead-free solder for keychains? I would say yes.
I would say yeah, and because it's in your pocket.
Because you're using it, your hands are rubbing it, and you don't want people to get the lead. Yeah, I would say yeah. Use silver solder or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, silver solder. They're both going to take a lot more heat than you'd think they will, but go ahead and use them.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to do lead-free solder, whatever it is. If it's silver, I don't know. Is it silver?
No, it's just lead-free solder.
Okay,
it's a little expensive, but you know what? It's pricey, but your customers will appreciate you looking out for them.
Yeah, they live longer and they can buy more glass. Okay. Brenda, there is a trend to use epoxy to make fake stained glass panels, but they can make things so much cheaper. How am I to explain to customers that real stained glass lasts forever versus epoxy?
Well, you know, I had a lady tell me one day, I was doing a presentation in a church one time, and the lady,
he'll have an answer for you.
I'm going to tell you a story first. But the lady in the church said, "Oh, we ain't putting those old plastic things in here." And it was a window about 2 foot by 3 foot. And I had it sitting on the church pew, and I was showing everybody, and I just let it go. And it fell right on the ground. And I picked it up, and I said, "Ma'am, plastic doesn't break like this. Now I'm going to take this back to my shop, and I'm going to repair it. Just like I could repair your windows if we put them in the church." And you know, the next afternoon that church called and brought us a check and we had the job. I guess sometimes you just got to do something crazy. But we do glass. We don't do plastic. So, you know, if you, the way to explain to people how your work.
I've never heard that story before.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad.
There's leaders and there's followers, baby. I'm a leader.
That's not my style at all. Okay,
yeah.
Ed.
Anyway, so what you want to do is, you know, you want to make sure that you just explain the process to them. And, you know, maybe even doing little sun catcher or something within your booth so that they can see you working and that they know that you're not working with epoxies or resins or what's that stuff they used to have, the lead that had sticky stuff on it? What was that called?
I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't know.
There's a lot of faux glass stuff out there.
Yeah, I tend not to waste my energy too much on talking about the epoxy and concentrate on talking about your craft and how it is a traditional
and what you do
craft, and it
just
in no way compares to epoxy. And I have a beautiful epoxy window in our studio. I'll take a picture of it. It's gorgeous, but it's a totally different process. And so if they can, you could tell them that you're sorry that they, can't afford it, and that may be a better choice for them is the epoxy.
Right.
But the stained glass is a craft, and it is an art. And
well, it's definitely an art. So
I wouldn't worry too
short,
much
Brenda.
about it. Yeah, Brenda.
Don't sell yourself short, because it's what we do. And like Barbara said, if we're sorry that it's a little pricey for you, but it's forever.
Yeah, it's a entirely different thing.
It comes with a lifetime warranty.
Yeah.
Unless you break it.
When you fix old stained glass windows and they have been put into old wooden frames, does it lower the value if you take it out of that heavy, stinky old wood frame and put it into a zinc frame?
What I would do is, if you take it out of that old stinky wood frame, which I have like 3 or 4 of them in the stained glass studio right now, but instead of putting it in a zinc frame, put it in an oak frame so your customer can hang it and not worry about it falling. I like the zinc frame around things, y'all, but there's so much stuff that is brought into me like that because the hangers failed. And so, like I said, I use the oak framing. It's 1 3/8 by 3/4 with a 3/8 groove down the middle of it. It's finished. It's slick. It's been sanded. There's nothing wrong with it at all. And that's what I use. I use that wood. I charge my customers $10 a foot for new framing. But you know what? It's beautiful.
And then they can stain it whatever color they want.
They can paint it. They can stain it. They can do whatever they want.
They can paint it black. They can paint it whatever.
Yeah, you charge them $10 a lineal foot, and that includes you mitering it, putting the screws in, putting the glue in the corners, putting it together for them, Howard, so that they can pick it up. I mean, anytime you can take it out of a junky, old, smelly, sweaty frame, please.
Get rid of it.
Get rid of it. Get used to it. Take it out. Get rid of it.
Okay, what gauge of wire is enough to reinforce a small piece like along the stem of a leaf? That would be the pre-tinned. What gauge is that?
The pre-tinned wire would probably be like a
14, 16. I don't know.
Yeah, 16, because 16 or 12, 16 is going to be a good size. 12 is going to be a little heavy, and 10 is going to be too heavy. So if you're just supporting a leaf that's going to be floating around and run that wire, that copper wire right up the back of it, and 16 is probably pretty good. 20 is a little narrow, a little flimsy, flexible.
Joey wants to know where he can buy steel jump rings.
You'll have to make them, Joey. Get a roll of
get a roll of steel.
A roll of steel, what's called safety wire.
20. Oh, 20 broke. Okay. 20 broke. Yeah, 16, I think, Nancy.
Okay, yeah. 20 is too thin. 16 would probably be good. And if that doesn't work for you, just skin back some number 12, what's called 12-2 wires. This wire you use in your house.
So make your jump rings just with a tool.
Yeah, I use the steel tie wire that they tie rebar with, and you can just cut it. use one pair of pliers to cut that steel wire, Joey, and use those pliers for nothing else. Definitely
use your nipping
don't
pliers.
use your lead nipping pliers to cut that steel wire, because you'll hate yourself. But if you get that steel wire, brush it, clean it up, and get it hot enough, the solder will stick to it.
Well, then he would, does he tin that first and then just get it really hot and then tin it and then get it really hot and apply it?
Get it really hot and tin where you're going to solder it. Tin the jump ring, and then put it on turn your iron down, flux it, and then put it onto your piece and attach it that way.
He's probably using zinc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because don't worry about getting it too hot if you're using zinc, because you're not going to melt the zinc, and you're definitely not going to melt the stainless or the steel safety wire.
Yeah. I hope that works for you. Let us know how it works, Joey. All right. Another question. We answered that about energy efficient. And we answered about being hung outside.
Yeah.
And we answered that one too, about when it was first developed. Did you read these questions ahead of time?
No, I didn't. No.
Okay. Can stained glass be tempered? That was a question.
More than likely not. Now, in our industry that Barbara and I are in, we do a lot of cabinet doors and stuff, and there are glasses, obscure glasses, that are made by Pilkington. Those are obscure glasses, textured glasses. Art glass, though, per se, your opaque glasses and a lot of your cathedral glasses cannot be tempered because of their chemical makeup. You can get 1/8 inch glue chip tempered, because 1/8 inch glue chip is just window glass. Clear glue chip is just window glass that's been glue chipped, and we're going to do a video on how to do colored glue chip.
Okay, but after the glass is tempered, you cannot cut it. So, and if you cut it and try to send it and get tempered, they won't temper it for you. So the answer to that is
you can't.
No.
You can temper glass, but you cannot temper art glass. Okay. You can't temper art glass. And the other reason is and the facility that tempers glass, they don't even want to try it. It makes such a mess inside their tempering oven, blows glass up, sticks it to the heating elements and everything else. You know what? That is a $2 million piece of equipment. They're not going to do it for you.
It's just not going to happen.
No.
So no, stained glass cannot be tempered. If your safety, if you have to do a safety glazing, most of the time stained glass is exempt from the safety requirements. But if someone's real pushy, and maybe it's in front of something like
a large window, then put tempered safety glass in front of it, to protect it. Because and I know it's inevitable. If you've got a stained glass side light next to your door and you got this really nice door, but there's no glass in it, guess where they're going to knock? Right on your stained glass window. So go ahead and put some 1/8 inch safety glass.
Protect it if it's in.
Because I mean, even if you drew a map and wanted them to knock on your door, they'd still knock on your glass.
That's what our customers tell us.
That's what our customers tell us. So yeah, I'm just going by what our customers tell us.
Well, we answered a lot of questions tonight.
Boy, we sure did, Barb, and it's been a lot of fun hanging out with everybody tonight.
It has been. And Wednesday night, we have a video update on the live oak. And we'll be talking about
painting.
I don't know if that's
not on Wednesday. No,
this
not
is
on
a
Wednesday.
different video.
It's a different video, but we'll be talking about leading and working on that project. And we are now working on Windows 9 and 10, and soon to be 11 and 12, baby. We're rocking.
So
I know
we're excited. So do we have any more questions tonight?
Any more questions for us?
I did put out a little video earlier today. It's a little 1.5 minute video. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was about the metal glass cutter. And so But check that out if you get a chance. I also updated a couple playlists so people can find the beginning stained glass class a little bit easier. Okay, great to see you both. I've got to pre-cut a bunch of 2 to 3 inch strips of brass cane. I bought a Jarmax saw and it's fine, but it seems a little dicey. Do you guys prefer a particular cane saw?
No, actually, the little Jarmac is the same one we've had for 30 years, and it's in the stained glass room.
Just be careful.
That's the one we use. That one has fallen off the table, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, just be careful with it because I'm sure yours has. If you just bought one, then and you might want to look at the blade. Okay, if your blade has teeth that are separated, you might want to go to a blade that has a lot of teeth per inch because of cutting zinc and lead. The big blade will gum up because you're taking chunks of lead out, and the little one will just go whoop, right through it. The other thing is I cut a lot of my lead using a bandsaw, but again, the teeth are really close, like 30 teeth per inch or something. They're really close.
So that might be why it doesn't feel quite right, is the blade.
Nancy, I think we can probably talk about photographing our work next time, but Barb's going to have to get it together to do that because I know nothing about photography, and Barbara has taken the classes, been to school for it, and understands the pros and cons about photographing.
Yeah, we can talk about that. If you have some photography questions, we can, because it's kind of late now and to get into photography, but we could take a little time. And maybe after we talk about it, I might be able to get some things together and use that to start a video about photographing your work because it's very important for your career.
It is. And you can't.
So doesn't this look better now? I backlit it. I don't know if you saw this last week, and this window is so beautiful and it was not backlit. And that's one thing you want to make sure you do is backlight when you're doing the stained glass. But there's all kinds of things. It's a fun process, but it's a little bit.
This is actually panel number B.
Yeah.
This is panel number B for the Live Oak project. Panel number A is over in this window. It's funny. We have 12 windows around the studio. In between all the studios and the filming room and everything. So we're putting one window in each window. One
thing I want to tell you about photographing your work is get a tripod. And tripods are cheap. Somebody might be giving one away. You may even have one. Get a tripod for your camera. And you can use a tripod with your cell phone too. If you've got a good camera on your cell phone, you can use the tripod.
Yeah, you just get that little foot.
And I can show you my
camera.
little gadgets and stuff like that. I got a lot of little gadgets to help.
Well, when we started doing this channel, it was like almost Barbara's birthday. So we had to get.
And then Christmas.
So, we had to. Anyway, Barbara's got nice little gadgets and she can share them with you.
Yeah, well, I had those before we started doing YouTube. But YouTube, I did get a lot of new gadgets. Okay, so foot switch for the
saw.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can put a foot switch on the
Definitely.
saw. You can put a foot switch on your grinder. We have, it's kind of crazy.
We have a foot switch for our bell. We haven't rang the bell very often, have we?
So this right here, me 92 other, this is a foot switch for, it's a foot pedal for an electric guitar. So what we did is we turned our bell in from our old gas station into ringing our bell. And so this is a foot switch and it does come on. It has another plug in. I could hook my grinder to this if I wanted to. So, but anyway, I wanted to share that with you because that is really awesome.
You okay over there, Street?
I was going to share my new seat with everybody. I have a seat at the top of it is like a saddle, but what it does is it helps my my hip bones kind of lean out a little bit, and it takes a lot of the pressure off of my hips. So.
Macaulay's back.
Hey, what'd you have? You go fix some dinner or get some homework done?
she had dinner going on.
Okay,
Yes.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, I'll make a note, Brenda, and I'll bring some things that you can use. We can talk about photography a little bit next week.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I just saw a piece of green glue chip.
Where?
Hang on, I'll show you.
Dinner. Eddie's getting some glass, some glue chip.
Yeah,
That's old. How much is it?
this is old.
How much is it? Does it say?
That's a Spectrum 328.
$3.60.
$3.60. Now, this piece of glue chip will cost you $22. That's crazy. And this is homemade.
It is homemade.
This is homemade glue chip. And it's on a Wismac glass. I don't know if you can see that, but that's awesome. That's cool.
Okay,
So anyway,
that's a good Christmas glass.
yeah, I'm going to call my
little-
supplier and see if they want to donate a little bit of animal hide glue.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't take a
For
lot
a video,
to do it.
we could, if they can donate it, we'll give them a plug
All right.
on YouTube. Okay.
Yeah. So, and Joey, keep an eye out, look at, make you a mold and make your own little cast lead rosettes. It's awesome. It's a lot of
What was
fun.
the other thing we were going to do? A video? Glue chip.
Glue chipping. Mhm.
Okay.
So right now the glue chipping, y'all, it's too
Good
hot
night, Nancy.
outside.
Yeah.
It's too
Too
hot
hot.
for glue chipping. You have to use the sun, so you can't do it inside and you can't do it in front of a window. You have to have the sun, but you don't need this dog day afternoons of August. You just need it a little bit cooler. And but we're gonna get some animal hide glue. And we'll show you guys how to make some glue chips.
That'll be a fun video. I'm
It'll be
excited
awesome.
about that.
Okay.
We just don't have enough hours in the day, guys. Do we?
Yeah, because we're getting ready. We're starting. We not only are we working on Brook Green, but we're starting a church window, and finishing up Brook Green. We're starting a church window, and we're getting ready. We're putting the furnace back together and getting ready to start blowing glass to work on the Charleston project.
Yes.
So we just got a few things happening.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm good.
I don't know how we got ourselves so busy, but we are very busy. I hope y'all are
It's
busy
a good
and
problem to
happy
have.
and
Yeah.
staying safe and enjoying your stained glass craft.
Yeah, and so we're real happy. We're happy that everyone is well, and got a few things going on tomorrow. I hope
Thanks,
everybody.
Amber. I don't feel like it.
I hope everyone has a beautiful day tomorrow. Some parts of the country, you in Indiana, you're probably going to be getting some rain, but you know what? Even a rain day is a nice day if you can work on some beautiful art class. So.
Yeah. Patsy wants to know if there is an antique green patina for lead cane.
No, not that I know of.
Not that I know of. Has anyone heard of such a thing? I've never heard of such a thing.
No, you can.
And I don't know how.
Yeah, you could check with a metallurgist. They have different
Or
chemicals.
a jeweler.
A jeweler. They have chemicals that they can put on certain metals that change it different colors and oxidize it. But lead, I've never heard of lead, something that would turn the lead green. I know that.
We've done it with copper, but
But I don't want to tell you how we get it with copper.
But anyway, no.
But anyway, yeah, copper can be turned green pretty quick. But lead, I don't know about.
Does
Patsy.
copper patina turn green? Does it?
Actually, it turns pink. That's just me.
Well, it gets kind of oxidized. I don't know what it does.
Yeah, I don't use copper patina because I just don't like it. I don't like the color of it.
But you know, copper does turn green, so probably. I'm not sure.
You can oxidize copper really quick with vinegar.
You might want to try that.
Okay.
See if it affects it.
Or you can oxidize it pretty quick with nitrogen.
But that's the answer. I'm not sure.
And the best way to turn your brass vase cap black is to take black patina and a pinch of table salt, steel wool your vase cap, and put that mixture on your vase cap, and it turns just as black as night. If I have to make a video to show you that, I will.
You need to. You've got so much to tell these folks.
I can, and I love sharing it with y'all.
Okay, so if we don't have any more questions.
Amber, us two look like 20-year-olds.
No, she said we work like 20-year-olds. We don't look like 20-year-olds.
I was going to say, what?
Crazy?
I have to send you some glasses, Amber.
God. You need your head examined.
Amber, I was gonna send you my glasses, hon, so that you can really see us. But now I understand.
When you turn your head that way a minute. Turn your head that way a minute. Oh, well, no, this way. Your hair's purple. So he does look like a 20-year-old.
That's that shampoo I use. I use purple shampoo. And don't be laughing at my hair. Well, go ahead and laugh at it.
Okay. I can't even see.
Go ahead and laugh at my hair. Laugh at it.
You look 25. Amber.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, thanks. Oh. Anyway.
I was 25 once, wasn't I, Barb?
He was. He was.
You better believe it.
When I met him, he was 24.
And Barbara's mom said, "Oh, Barbara, don't tell me he's 25."
He was a hunk. I'll just tell you right now. He still is.
Past tense. Did you hear that was in there? Was.
He still is. He still is.
I know.
He's just old.
You know, the only thing about getting old is that
old hunk.
I guess that's better than being an old trunk. I'd rather be an old hunk than an old trunk.
Okay. That's enough. We're losing viewers.
I know that, the problem with getting old is that your surfboard needs to be bigger.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I can't see. I've been laughing too hard. Okay.
We should post pics at 25. Yeah.
Oh, we will. We will. We'll post.
We have some good ones.
We have some good ones. Yeah. We'll get those together. Let's see if I can find them.
You're looking at it. I'm just kidding, y'all. Y'all, it's been great having you come in tonight and see us. And a lot of questions tonight. Thanks again, guys, because we really do this to answer your questions. Yeah, we have some fun and we enjoy it a lot, and more than anything, you guys are the ones that make our evening by asking us questions and allowing us to come into your lives and answer your questions for you. Yeah.
So that, and it helps us figure out what you guys need. I mean, I don't know any other way to be able to talk face to face with our customers than to do this. And we really appreciate you helping us out.
We appreciate you guys tuning in on Monday nights. So don't forget, Barb's going to have a new video coming out every Wednesday, and we're doing this video at 8 o'clock, not 7. So it'll be easier for some of you to watch.
Yeah, and you can watch it whenever, but Wednesday night it'll be out, and then so that way you can watch it. If you have any questions, bring them to
Monday night.
Yeah, and we hope this works out good for you, and we can bring you more and more information.
Yeah, more and more information. So I'm going to find us. I am going to find our supplier for the animal hide glue, and we'll probably just get a little bag of that. and get out the old Coleman stove from under the motorhome, and we'll cook us some animal hide glue outside.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it.
It's awesome. Well, you know what? First thing we have to do is sandblast the glass. So we have a sandblaster.
Okay.
We'll be sandblasting the glass. So this could be a couple of part video for everyone. And I'm gonna tell you, if I go through to make this, I want everybody to watch it.
And everybody needs to make some.
And everybody can make some. And guess what you say when you get it? I got it, Ed. Yeah.
All
so
right.
it's a lot of fun. And once once you learn how to do these specialty things, your work is going to change. Like, who has cranberry glue chip?
I do.
Only you, if you make it. It's awesome. Wait till I show you the process.
Yeah. You guys are going to be becoming the experts.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we're ready to head out. If there's no more questions.
Any more questions?
Any more questions?
We just want to let you guys know that we love you and we want you to stay safe. Please don't forget to tune in on Wednesday and see Barbara's new show for her new video.
You're in the video. It's your video.
I thought it was your video.
It's your video.
Anyway, we're in it together.
No,
it's
you're
us.
just in it. I'm not in it.
Oh, it's just my hands. You're not going to see anything else.
No, you're in it. You're going to.
I hadn't even seen it then.
I filmed you.
I don't know.
You don't remember?
I got my mind set on glue chipping.
Okay. All right. I think you need something to eat. He's losing it. Okay.
You have a good night too, everybody.
Okay.
Stay safe. Thanks for tuning in tonight.
We love you guys.
ARTyRV signing out.
See you later.
See you next week. Thanks again.
Thank you.